Hey everybody, and welcome back. This is Final Hydra, and today we're going to be playing another game of Evolve Stage 2. Today we're going to be looking at the monsters side of the story, so to speak. We're going to do some gameplay as the monster and see what we can do. Now, while the difference between the monster and the hunters is while the monster, or the hunters, so to speak, have to chase down, kill the monster, stop him from destroying the relay, and just be a general pain in the monster's butt. The monster's job or goal is to avoid the hunters, eat wildlife, level up, get stronger, and then engage the hunters in combat and kill them, or after reaching stage 3, the monster can destroy the power relay. So we're going to jump into a game. We've set monster as our preferred class for the game, so to speak, and we're going to see if we can get in there, get a decent game in, and let's see if we can't pull off a win as the monster. I'm not very skilled as the monster, I'll be straight up front with you folks. I play as the hunters a lot more than I do play as the monster, simply because I play this game a lot with my friends. And, ooh, we've got somebody there who also prefers the monster, so I'm going to leave the game. And you know, I'm just bouncing in it. I'm going to bounce in and out of games to try to find a, right here, a match where people do not prefer the monster. That way I can jump in and, you know, be the monster and show you guys this awesome monster footage that I really want to show you. I'm just going to quickly mute everybody just in case they start screaming and being generally annoying. So, let's see. Alright, let's go through the monsters. The first one here, which is basically the first one that they came out with, is Goliath. He was the first monster I think that they finished production of. Then we have Meteor Goliath, which is a reskin of Goliath. Different, you know, adds fire damage to all his abilities. We have Kraken, which is kind of like a Cthulhu electric flying monster. And then we have Elder Kraken, which is a variation of Kraken, if you didn't guess. Wraith, who's kind of a stealth DPS monster. Behemoth, who's a gigantic tank. He's currently locked for balancing issues at the moment. And Gorgon, which is kind of a mix of all the above. For the first video, we're going to play as Goliath. He's kind of like Godzilla in the fact that he's just a giant fire-breathing jerk. And we're going to pick our perks. Hunger, 40% feeding speed, 7% movement speed. Let's see, Feral Instincts, 10% climbing, feeding, and smell range. And then we have Ferocious Bloodlust, which is going to give us a lot of really awesome little buffs there as well. So, well, they've got a pretty, wow, they look like they've got a pretty strong hunter team right there. I'm not really a fan of Jack. I think he's pretty much a lame hunter. I don't think he's very good at being the trapper. But we'll see what we could do. See if we can't avoid them. Let's eat some wildlife. And if you want to look on the screen right there on the right hand side, it shows off all of my abilities and their little descriptions. We have Charge, Fire Breath, Leap, Smash, and Rock Throw. And I don't know if you noticed, you saw I took one in each of those. Unlike the hunters where they get all their abilities up front, the monster gets 4 points in the beginning that he can allot any way he wants. And you can level up an ability 3 times. I like to take one of each in the beginning just because I think one of the main things that holds a monster back DPS wise is just his cooldowns. So if you can take your monster, get a whole bunch of abilities in the beginning, you at least have different abilities to use while you're waiting for your others to come off of cooldown. And as you level up the abilities, they'll either get stronger, they get a wider range on them of effect, or, you know, the cooldown will also be reduced, I believe, on most of them. We're going to double check that as I level up. Like I said, I don't play with the monster a whole lot, but I want to show you guys both sides of the game. Show you guys both ends of the equation, so to speak. So we start out a couple, I want to say almost 15 seconds before the survivors do. And as you can see, the monster plays in third person. Oh, there's some wildlife right there. Now they're going to drop down right from where we started. So it's in our best interest to eat on the run in the beginning. I'm going to just use my fire breath there, show off that ability. And if you look up top, it's now grayed out of the abilities, and it shows that I am using the 360 controller if anybody was interested. So, the hunters are now have landed, and they are tracking me with the planetary scanner. That's Jack right there doing his trapper diligence. We're going to quickly look at our map, see where we are at, and we're going to head off in this direction. It is good to try your very best in the beginning to just keep establishing meals as the monster. Now, Goliath, his main movement ability right there is that leap that I keep doing. And I'm just going to keep smelling. That's that AoE I keep doing there. That basically is going to show me where the hunters are. And now I'm actually going to double back, I think. Oop, nope, they are right behind me. So, since they are right there, it's going to be in my best interest to get a move on. I'm going to use my charge ability to move a little faster. I just want to make sure I stay out of range of the dome at this point. And you can see how much ground Behemoth can really clear very quickly with that leap of his. So they're going to still be right on my tail. So we're going to go this way. You know, they're going to expect me to just keep going south. I'm going to trip them up a little bit. Try to do my due diligence. And move in a confusing manner. I know I gotta eat wildlife. The game does a pretty good job of keep reminding you what you might need to be doing or what you're doing incorrectly. Alright, so let's see. What do we got? See, right now I'm smelling there's different sizes of wildlife. If you've seen from my hunter video, you've seen a couple of the little wildlife that are scattered about there. There's different sizes. Right now I'm trying to make my meals worth it while I stay on the move. So I'm looking for monsters that I think would be worth eating. Whoop, I thought he was dead. Alright, let's smell real quick. They're going to be right on my tail soon, so I'm actually going to abandon that food. I know it's already half dead, but they've got to be closing the gap on me again. So playing the monster really is, it's basically a big game of cat and mouse. You kind of want to stay on the move. You want to keep the hunters chasing you. But you also want to know when it's a good time to take off. Alright, we're going to get some more food. We're almost to level 2. We're getting close. Or stage 2, excuse me. Alright, they're tracking me again with that planetary tracker. That is nice that it does show me that in the tooltips. Because it does give me some ways to play the monster a little bit more intelligently, let's say. You know what? We haven't been really down the bottom. Ooh, I'm being shot from somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where. They're kind of corralling me into the bottom, though. I don't want to get stuck down here. So let's keep smelling. Do we see anybody? Okay, they are right there. They're trying to head me off. I've just got to keep moving right now and just keep away from them. They're right behind me, as we just saw. If you see the names on the map that I was just, when I was smelling there, that basically is giving me an indicator that they are, if not on top of me, they're getting real close. But we're getting really close to stage 2, which is important. Stage 2 is kind of where the monster really gains the ability to fight back against the hunters in a way that's not just, you know, hurting himself. Now, if you see at the top of the screen there, we do have our health bar there, and we also have that blue bar right above it, which is the monster's armor. Now, that will kind of shield our health a little bit as we are at an earlier stage. I really want to eat this guy, but they are right there. So let's lure them away from that monster, and let's try to remember where that monster was, because I want to come back for that. Large monster is going to be just what I need to push me over the edge of stage 2. I can also eat a whole bunch of small monsters. I mean, that's also kind of the what you should be doing, is just always eating is usually a better strategy than not always eating. Alright, there's an albino up here. That's what that ray of light is. There's albino creatures, and I think I explained this as a hunter, but killing albino creatures gives you different kinds of buffs. So now we're gonna just try to get over here and evolve. That's a little bit more important than running right now. Alright, see, it does take a few seconds, so you have to kind of slow down to do it, and then you get 3 more points to spend. Now, I'm a big fan of charge and fire breath, so I'm gonna level fire breath all the way up. and charge, I'm going to give 1.2. Let's see where they are. And now we are larger, if it wasn't obvious, that we did increase in size during that evolution. Alright, they are right there. I don't know if they know where I am. Well, they just got me with the planetary tracker. So, yeah. What do we do? Where's the map? Alright, we're going to try to run right past their view here. Ooh, they got me in the dome. I wasn't expecting somebody to be right there. But hey, let's make them work for this damage. Because now they're going to try to fight me. But let's make them work for it. Yeah, make them work for it. Just hide a little bit. And that right there is the medic. So what we are going to do is go right for her no matter what. Because if we're going to be in combat, it's always good to be putting a hurting on the medic as the monster because they need her. She's very important to them staying alive. Death by mint. Alright, that's the medic. So now we know to just focus her. Let's get in there. Lay some smackdown with some fire breath and charge to draw her away from the group. Because the medic can't really survive on her own, especially not Rogue Val. She can't. She can do some healing, but eventually she's going to succumb to damage if the rest of the group doesn't back her up and get me off of her, which they're not doing a bad job, but they're not exactly getting me off of her. So there we have the medic down. So now we can spread our damage out on others. Oh, get out of here. Trying to use my abilities to the best of my ability, obviously, right now. Medic is now dead, so let's focus on the assault next, because that's the one that deals damage. And now the assault is dead, so now we're gonna focus on these guys. Get over here, you. Don't run away. We can all be friends. Alright, that's 3 down. Now the dropship just dropped them back in, if I'm not mistaken. At least the 2 that were dead. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the ones that we have left and just put them down as well. That way, even if they get dropshipped back in, they're still down a couple of the teammates. He keeps using his repulsor, which is kind of his ability to push me back there. Alright, let's give a little smell. Death by mint, right in the front. Perfect. Now the hunters, when they do die, they do come back with a lower maximum percentage of health. So if we just keep focusing on the... Once again, let's just focus on the medic as best we can. And the medic is now down. Again. So we can keep her down now. That will aid us in hurting the rest of them. We've taken a lot of damage. If you've noticed our health at the top, we have been dealing, or been dealt, I should say, a lot of damage. So right now is kind of the time we want to capitalize on, doing the best we can. We've got 3 of the 4 of them down. Get in here before they... Oh, she did get the revive off. So let's punish them now, once again, for what they're doing. Alright, we got... Let's find that one that's running away. She's trying to keep reviving everybody. She's doing a really good job, you know. But I'm just going to keep hurting them. That's fine by me. If I can just get them all down before the timer comes back up, that's kind of how we win.
Hunter down.
Alright. Now, where did she go? Where did she go? I think I saw her head off this way. I'm trying to find her now that she's taken off. Now, 10 seconds isn't enough for me to get to her. Like, that's just not going to happen. So I'm going to use this time to evolve, get to my 3rd form. Support is dead. Now we get to spend 2 more points. Let's go for charge, and let's go for leaf smash. Why not? It's more damage.
The relay is vulnerable. Get in range. Monster
Oh, good.
domed.
Here we have this trapper again coming back in for death, basically, because that's all he's going to get right now. Dead. Trapper's dead. Excellent. Alright, find death by mint. Always target the medic. Always. First, if you have the option to, hit her first. That's just how you do. Trapper's dead. They've got a 2-minute respawn timer now. Let's just focus this girl. She's doing really good with her healing burst, but I'm not going to let her out of my sight, so.
Dome coming down.
And I think she is down. Alright, so now we focus on the others. Yeah, they're just coming right back after me. That's fine. I don't care. The assault is now also in the dead category. And we have the last one right here stuck against a rock. Come on, buddy. We can be friends. Come on. Come on. Yeah. There we go. And I'm going to eat his body now to discourage him. That'll demoralize him. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Alright, so that's the monsters gameplay right there, folks. Sorry at the end, it's kind of like, you know, I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to throw my attention where I need it to be, and I'm trying to think at the same time. So I'm sorry if the dialogue there at the end was less than funny. But that's really what you have to do as a monster. When you engage... Oh, I get a reward. What do I get? Oh, yeah, 100 silver keys. Like, barely anything. So, excellent. We're going to end this, and we are going to leave the game. So right there, folks, that's the monsters gameplay. You're going to avoid the hunters as best you can in the beginning. Look for some food. You're going to eat it. You're going to evolve. You're going to get stronger. And then you're going to come out of the woods, and you're going to beat the crap out of those damn hunters who are coming to shoot you in the butt. Because that's just rude. So, there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Final Hydra. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. And if you like this content, please subscribe so you can see more of it when it comes out. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.